And we are live. Welcome to episode 13 of the RetroSlot podcast. I was just telling the guys why they call it a donkey show. There's something new every day. This week we're going to be talking about Pokemon Gen 1. And as promised, we've got Blessious on the show. Welcome, Blessious.
Hi, how's it going, guys? I really do appreciate you guys having me on. No meme. I know I was like kind of memeing there, but seriously, it's a huge honor. I really respect you guys, and it's always an honor when you get asked to be parts of shows.
Thanks for coming on, man. We were really excited to have you. We were talking about you last episode, and we were kind of making the joke. We're gonna have him on. He's gonna be on, and then we asked you after the show. And luckily, you could come on.
That's a huge honor. No, seriously, that means the world to me. Seriously. And I appreciate. I think you guys asked me what video game to talk about.
That's right.
I was like, Pokemon, man.
That's the one. That's the retro game. If Blessious is going to pick a retro game, it's got to be Pokemon.
Yeah.
Did you have a second choice at all, or what
would have been number 2?
I don't know, man.
There was only number 1.
There's only number 1.
Every generation of Pokemon, or specifically Red, Blue, Yellow?
Well, I don't know. Well, if I had to pick one, I think Yellow version and Pokemon Stadium together are like my favorites, because like you could like take them and put them in 3D mode, see Pokemon in wondrous 1060p, 1080p, or what 160p, yeah.
I was gonna say it's not
1080p.
Like, what generation were you playing 1080p?
I don't even think the newest generation is 1080p on the Switch, is it?
Not in handheld. It's 720.
Okay. What was Generation 2? Was that the green one? Green and...
So green and red were actually Gen 1 in Japan.
Oh, okay.
Blue came after green and red. It was actually, blue was technically the second version. And that was like the fixed version. And then yellow came after the like anime. But Gen 2 was silver or gold.
Wait. So did we ever get a green version?
Nope.
No.
Oh.
I had a strategy guide that was literally it was Venusaur and Charizard. I'm like, wait, are you telling me that there's a green version out there somewhere? And I'm like, because I was a kid, because like I was in 3rd grade, being put in dyslexic classes, and there I am not reading Hank the Cowdog. I'm reading freaking just Nintendo Powers. No problem. Sorry, maybe just a thought on my 3rd grade. Maybe it's not the book. Maybe it's not me. It's the books.
It's the books.
Yeah.
So
I don't like reading school books either. So
the book you're reading referred to it as green because they wrote it about the Japanese version. They didn't bother to like, what is it, like what's the command on a keyboard to like find a word? Control K or something?
Yeah, they definitely didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another throwback is because if you put red version in a Game Boy Color, the whole background would be red, and if you put blue in, it'd be blue, and yellow was probably like the most, like, go to a different area, you might have red, blue, green, and all of that book was green. And so like to me, before yellow came out, I'm like, how do you get a green?
Yeah, it was Pokemon for the Game Boy Color, or was for the original Game Boy, like the first one?
Original, but I had a Game Boy Color. That was my first foray.
Okay. So it was compatible with the Game Boy Color, but it wasn't actually, or was it one of the enhanced games? What color is the cartridge? Oh, well, the color.
It was red.
Yeah, if it were a normal Game Boy cartridge, would have been gray?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
It wouldn't have been like clear or black.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I think, Jay, you might remember this. I think before yellow version came out, Pokemon Spinball came out, correct?
I don't remember the years, but
I had that.
Pokemon Pinball, yeah.
Yeah,
and that was Game Boy Color only.
That needed another fucking battery for it.
Because that
had
the
yeah.
Wait, no, yeah, that one did. Pokemon Trading Card Game did not.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I wasn't into Pokemon, but I liked pinball games, and everybody, like, one of the video games one of the magazines that I read said this is a really good pinball game. So I bought it, and I'm like, How many fucking batteries do I got to carry around now?
Dude, back then, man, they had monopoly on batteries.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Nintendo and Duracell were like hand in hand. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Actually, it was Sega with the Game Gear.
I was gonna say you're talking shit about Nintendo, and we got the Game Gear over here eating away your double A's, dude. Really?
Right?
Come on.
Thank God, like rechargeable batteries happened, right? Like, imagine if we're still dealing. Imagine if, like, when your battery died in your cell phone, you had to go to the store and buy some AAA's to stick in it.
That's it all
you
about.
know that was pitched. You know that had to be pitched. You're like, listen, we can get a brand deal with Energizer.
Yeah. Like, hold on, I gotta run to the convenience store, get some AAA's because I gotta call my mom.
You know what's funny is, we're talking about like 90s Nintendo, but can we talk about freaking 2021 Xbox? When you buy a new Xbox, you still got to put batteries in. You
still got to put batteries.
Man.
Yeah,
I know.
Why?
I like it better though, because with the Sony PlayStation controller, the battery's built in and it's rechargeable, which is more convenient. Except when it dies, you can't just swap the battery in and out. So what I do is I buy those like Nyko rechargeable batteries for the Xbox.
The Mad Cats.
I think Mad Catz is out of business. I think they went the way of the dodo. But and then I just charge them, and then that way I can just pull one out and put it in if it's running low. But I think with the Pro controller, isn't the Elite controller have a rechargeable battery?
Yeah, Elite controller came with one, and it's actually got like a charging stand too.
Oh, that's
so this
cool.
is the Elite 2, and it doesn't even have like a way to open it up.
Yeah, which sucks because
you
can't charge it. Like if your battery dies, you have to plug it in.
Well, when I'm done with it, I just put it on the stand, like the little pad.
Well, I don't.
It just
I leave it on my desk, and then when I pick it up next time, the battery's dead, and I got to charge it.
Well,
I really like. So I've been buying new controllers for all my retro systems, like the 8-bit Do wireless controllers, which are really nice because they have like little receivers that plug into the controller ports of like an NES. Yeah, exactly like that one. The problem with those is some of them have USB-C cables, some of them have micro USB. It's like I got like 18 fucking cables to charge these goddamn controllers up.
I'm really good at losing those cords.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'll be like, all of a sudden I have like a ton of USB-C, and then I'm like, wait, this thing is like an old school one. Like, no, where is it? No!
mini USB. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, just have a drawer full of cables.
Every once in a while, I'll still run across one that's like,
need to.
What was before the mini? Was that the...
Well, there's the micro, which is the little one, and then there's the mini, which is the one that's like, it looks like there's two of them kind of stacked.
Like the PlayStation 3 controller?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. That one's actually kind of hard to find now.
It's mini, I think.
I'm trying to remember what the Wii U had. Because I think they just had their own things, right?
They probably did. Nintendo loves to put their own thing. Even with the 3DS, they were putting their own thing.
Yeah.
I was psyched to see USB-C on the Switch.
Yeah, it had its own...
It was the first one.
I think so. Yeah, it was the first device I ever got that had USB-C. And now...
The Wii U had its own proprietary cable, yeah.
Even I just got an arcade stick. Even this has a USB-C connection on it.
It's the future, man.
It is
Yet
the future.
Apple.
Apple
continues to have their own screw you cable.
Yeah. Welcome to the Retro Gaming Show, where we talk about USB-C cables and how much we hate Apple.
Hey, I will say this because I do have look at this USB-C.
Oh yeah, their laptops have it. Yeah.
Wait, I thought that was Thunderbolt or whatever.
No, this is
same
USB-C.
thing.
I use this all the time. So like my laptop sits here, and I'll check email like 47,000 times a day, and then I'm like, oh, hey, my Nintendo Pro controller needs something.
Oh, well, F me then. Bravo to Apple.
But not their phones though. Their phones still take that Lightning connector.
Yeah.
Is it called Lightning?
Lightning. Yeah.
I just call it the thingamabob.
Yeah.
Technical term. Got it.
Technical term.
I would like them to all just consolidate. Like every connection should now be USB-C, and the cables should all be compatible. I don't want like any like weird cables that only do power but no data. Like make them all connect to anything. Like if you plug in your Switch to certain chargers, it'll brick your Switch.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because Nintendo didn't use the industry standard for USB-C chargers. So the companies that first came out with chargers for the Switch, some of the Switches were bricking because they were getting like some weird power, and it was somehow hurting the Switch. That's why people tell you you only use the Switch charger.
I got you. I never knew that. Whoa, I'm very guilty on using that Mac charger. I'm very guilty of that. But it's a Gen 1, never broken, still alive.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
I want to get that new OLED screen on the Switch. That is
the
rumored.
4K one that they're talking about? That's like Samsung confirmed that, right?
I don't know. I haven't read that deeply.
I don't think any details have been confirmed by Nintendo at this point yet, right?
No.
I think speculation.
But I think the rumor came from, was it Forbes or from the Washington Post or somebody reputable?
Yeah, Wall Street Journal.
Wall Street Journal. I mean, they said my grandfather used to read that, so they probably know what they're talking about.
Have you heard about this new Nintendo they're coming out with?
Back in my day, they just made trading cards.
Hanafuda or some such.
But like the OLED screen, do you guys remember the PS Vita originally had an OLED screen in it? Did you guys have an original PS Vita before they did the revision?
I had an import one that came from Japan. Actually, that was my first one. Like,
oh, no way.
States. Yeah.
So that screen was gorgeous, and obviously, like my main screen here is an OLED screen as well. Like I just prefer OLED, so I'm really excited about that. I don't even care if it does 4K on a TV. I just want the OLED screen in my hands because I normally play my Vita in my hand. My Vita, my Switch.
I was gonna say you put your Vita up on the shelf and just teeny tiny screen.
I've been playing it a ton with Cyber Shadow. Which is kind of
gonna say Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, not on the Switch yet.
I think that's one game that we won't see.
They're gonna have to do a pro to get that out there.
Nintendo Switch, where you can play the new Cyberpunk game, and it just shows a screenshot of all the dildos. But I was just gonna say the problem with the cable thing is I feel like with companies, probably one of their biggest profit margins is from those proprietary cables.
Yeah,
it has to be.
I hear you, and I get it, but goddamn, like trying to figure out which cable I have to plug into this 3DS or DSi. Like, okay, you find a DSi, now how do you charge it up? Well, first of all, it's probably half charged already because those batteries last for like 18 months between charges.
I think I charged this SP like a year ago, and it still turns on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm jealous of that SP, dude.
Yeah, that's a good SP.
This is refurbed, so I refurbed this into a new shell.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
That's why it's so clean.
But yeah, it's like trying to figure out which cable goes with which like Nintendo handheld is kind of hard. So I'm glad.
I have a DS story if you want to hear it.
Of course,
it's kind of sidetracked. That's for Pokemon.
Yeah, let's skip it. Let's move on.
I'm kidding. Sorry, the asshole came out. Sorry.
No. So, this is if you ever wanted to know why I'm semi-jaded towards a certain game, it is this story. So it was when Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go find one of those 3DSs that has capture card capabilities, right? So I find the website. It's from Japan, right? So I buy it. It's $500. I'm like, all right, we'll charge this to the card, but it's a business expense, and we're going to make that money back, baby. And then, they're like, they're like, hey, it cost like $200 to get this there before, the game comes out, because they knew people were trying to get it for, Pokemon, right? I'm like, so I did that. Anyway, came to like $700 total, right? And then what happens? I do the stream for Pokemon, and it's my first time not playing a certain game. And do you think people showed up? No, they did not.
This was the first game that you played, like, after being like mainly a Destiny streamer for.
Well, I'd have to. Whoa! Don't call the game out, man.
That's a sad story. Did you stick with it, or did you just go right back to Destiny?
So I went to a GCX. Oh yeah, but yeah, right. So I remember going to a GCX of like 18, and someone let me stay at their place. Sounds like, thing. Like they're like, oh no, man, it's cool because it was a Memphis friend, and that was going. I'm like, oh okay, and so I was like, here, just have it, right?
Wait, the 3DS?
Yeah, that's how jaded I was.
Oh, that's a heartbreaking story, man.
That was a twist I was not expecting.
Yeah,
that's an M. Night Shyamalan twist.
Did they stream with it?
I don't think.
No? What'd they do with it? Why would anybody need okay, so and for anybody who's listening, I just want to give a little bit of backstory. It's really hard to capture video from a 3DS because it doesn't have any video out ports, and even like opening it up and trying to get video out if you know what you're doing is very difficult. So there were, I don't think these are even available anymore, but there were people who modded 3DSs to get video out. And it was really expensive, and it was really exclusive, and I think they were only out of Japan. It was really hard to get them.
And they would have to go in and solder everything too.
Yeah. It was not easy, and I don't think those people make those anymore.
No.
So now it's even more exclusive a club to be able to stream a 3DS.
I should probably kept that. I think it's probably worth. I could have probably sold it and made that $500 back.
Oh, 100%. Dude, you know what things are going for on eBay right now? I just sold a graphics card that I bought a couple of years ago. I think I paid like $300 and something for it, and I nearly tripled my money because people can't get shit right now. It's ridiculous.
What graphics card was it?
It was I don't want to say because somebody's gonna look it up.
Oh.
Yeah,
but it wasn't an expensive one when I bought it. It was something that I just needed for like a side project. For a Hackintosh that I was building, and I don't use that Hackintosh anymore. So I happened to look up on eBay how much that graphics card was worth or was going for. I was like, oh, that's an awful lot of money.
So how's life going, Bless? You're Mr. Nintendo ambassador.
Oh
playing. You were playing.
I saw you playing
Mario
Smash
Kart the other day and whatnot.
I genuinely love Nintendo, and I don't know. I'm just very happy to be able to play anything right now.
Nintendo, I think, is perfect right now because their games bring joy. They bring like a lightness of mood that I think it's very appreciated right now.
Yeah, especially when the pandemic happened. I think March 20th of last year is when Animal Crossing came out. Don't ask me why I know dates.
It was like right then, yeah.
But and that game did well. I remember trying to stream it. It was like another game that I was trying to break away from a certain game. And I was like,
Destiny.
hey guys, you guys like bounties? This game is bounties. Like that's a true story.
Well, I was watching you stream some what's that fighting game for little children? I forget the name of it all the time.
Oh, are you saying Smash Brothers?
Yes, that one.
What?
That's the
You
one.
don't like Smash Brothers?
No, I love Smash Brothers.
Come on, man. That's a competitive scene.
Yeah.
Splatoon as well.
I'm not so much.
Splatoon 3 is coming out. They announced Splatoon 3.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it looks very Splatoon.
Sure does. Should we talk some retro news? What's going on in the world of retro?
I want to kind of go backwards because you actually touched. We were talking about the 3DS.
Yeah.
With the TV out, they actually discovered in the original Nintendo DS that there was built-in TV out hardware,
like the big regular fat
DS.
Brick one.
Actually, that's a good point. I'm not sure if it was the DS or the DS Lite.
That's crazy. So like a TV out, as in like it would put to your TV, or it would just be able to watch TV?
No, like you could stream your gameplay to a TV, kind of like Switch.
Like would it have a composite out?
So it looks like the DS Lite, but there's built-in like it looks like they were originally contemplating that.
Really?
Like original DS Lite. But you have to go into, you got to like open it up and you have to tweak a couple of things on the board.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like built into the hardware.
Oh, that'd be nice. I mean, at the 3DS, it would certainly be more popular, but the DS had some great games as well.
Yeah. That makes me wonder if that was for like Nintendo staff, because you'd always see like at like E3 or Nintendo Treehouse, like they would have slightly different, just stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like it always had like a weird little socket on the back. And I was like, man, if I could only get one of those,
right?
And then they still did that with like when Breath of Wild, before that was launched at E3. You see those modified Switches, or they still do until like, well, E3 wasn't a thing anymore. And I think that they just have like certain things in the hardware just for them.
Yeah. I was so surprised when everybody was talking about how they didn't believe there'd be a Switch Pro or a new Nintendo Switch. Like Nintendo is the company that's been doing this the most for like the longest, right? It's like the DS, the DS Lite, the DSi, the 3DS, the 3DS XL, the 3DS, new 3DS XL. I mean, they've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
There's so many different versions of their handhelds.
We're going to have like 8 Switches.
Yeah, there will be, because like this is the end all platform, like it really is. I mean, like as a kid, especially as a Pokemon fan, as a kid, there's nothing I wanted more than to have Pokemon Stadium graphics, but as like in a Game Boy RPG, right?
Yeah.
And so like, like you want to see that, surfing Pikachu really surf.
Yeah, man.
You want to feel the water.
Like on the Wave Race 64. Wait.
That was a great game, sir.
I'm not. What?
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I did too. It was beautiful.
Speaking of Pokemon news, they announced the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl getting a release in late of this year.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Les?
I know a lot of people were. I think like that's what people wanted. I made the mistake on Twitter to say, "Oh, let's go Johto," because in my mind it would follow "Let's go Pikachu Eevee," which is Kanto, which would be Gen 1, Red, Blue, Yellow, and people are like, "No, man, we need diamonds. It's time for diamond." I'm like, "Whoa, man, sorry," but yeah, I know a lot of people were excited for it. But it does have like the chibi-esque, like almost Link's Awakening on the Switch look, and I'll be honest, I'll play it. Yeah.
So is this a remake then, or is it a new game?
It's a remake.
A remake of Diamond and Pearl. So is it a sequel to Let's Go?
I don't think it touches that whatsoever. So
did they already remake Yellow, Red, and Blue?
With Let's Go, and they did that with Fire Red, correct? The Fire Red, Leaf Green.
Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Those were for the 3DS.
That was for the
Game Boy Advance.
SP. Yeah, they were Game Boy Advance SP launches, I believe.
Yep.
And then they remade Heart Gold and Soul Silver on the DS, and then they remade Omega Sapphire, Omega Ruby, and then
for
this
3DS.
yeah. And so like this is where they kind of left off, and I know a lot of people are excited about it, and it's for me. This is where like I get very fuzzy with Pokemon. I'm like, what the hell is that?
I didn't play that generation at all. So yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon that we know from like Pokemon Go and stuff like that, where it all kind of ties in. But I did not play that generation at all.
When did you guys get in? I get like the news and the main topic this week are like the same thing, so we might as well just talk about both of them at the same time. When did you guys get into Pokemon? How old were you, and like which version of Pokemon was it?
For me, I gotta be honest with you. So, like, as a kid, I was very lucky to have like Nintendo Power Sense me, and I think at the time I was more so excited for like Super Smash Bros. And then because my parents never got me a Game Boy, I think like they were against it for some reason. And then I got surprised. I think like my birthday of like my 7th birthday at April 7th, or maybe it was my 8th birthday. I remember it was springtime, and I got both red and blue and a Game Boy Color, like the Game Boy Color that was purple see through. I'll always have a.
That's a good one. That's a classic.
And then I remember diving into it. They got me a strategy guide with like, hey, Pidgeotto has a chance to spawn in Viridian Forest at 16%. And like you need a Pikachu. And I remember like just diving in there. And that's the first time I got into it. And I like I said, I was like failing in 3rd grade, putting dyslexic classes just because I hated reading. But at the same time, I could recite you everything from Pokemon, and
it turns out Blessed just didn't give a shit.
I wasn't laughing. I was laughing during that, and I wasn't laughing because you were put in those classes. I was laughing because I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were leading into it. It's because I was putting all my time in Pokemon. I didn't care about anything else. All I wanted to do was play. That's like where my brain was going. So I start laughing, and then out of context, I look like a huge asshole laughing.
No, I didn't think it was funny. It's a funny story.
Look at that.
I remember my dad yelling at me. He's like, if you put that much time of Pokemon into just school, you'd be a doctor. I remember he would say that. But I said, I got to catch them all.
Yeah. And now look. Look.
Best there ever was, huh?
I'm a man-child. That's a profession.
What do your parents think about the streaming and the content creation and all that?
Oh man, they're supportive, 100%. They never were. I had family members when I was in radio. They're like, "Oh, you should get out of radio. You'll just be a dirty hippie pressing buttons and not making money." And my parents were supportive of that, and they're supportive of me being man-child on the internet with a Charmander behind me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
So
great.
Jay, how old were you when you first got into Pokemon, and which Pokemon was it?
So I guess I always thought that Pokemon came out in 97, but apparently it came out the end of 96. So I was like 11, 12-ish. And I remember specifically getting, because I always had Game Boy. My first Game Boy was the Play It Loud chunker clear one. I didn't have like the original kind of beige one. I had the like clear see-through one like you, but it was the big chunker one. And so I always had that. I used to play like Batman and Tetris and all sorts of stuff on it. And I remember getting Pokemon Red first. And just playing the absolute, everything out of it. I beat the Final Four and all that stuff. And I still was playing it. And I remember I didn't have any friends that played Pokemon or like video games really at all at the time. And so my dad, I believe, God, I can't remember. I at some point I also got a Game Boy Color, the purple one, the opaque one, the not see-through one. And so I got the Game Boy Color and Pokemon Blue with a trading cable, so I could trade with myself to have all of the Pokemon.
Oh shit, beating the system.
Yep.
Hacking the Pokemon.
Yeah, there's certain Pokemon that you could only get through trading. There was 4 of them in the original generation. It was Golem, Alakazam, was it Machamp?
Yeah.
And Gengar, I think.
Yeah.
Were the 4 that you had to trade to get.
Right. And so, and then not to mention like Growlithe wasn't on blue version, Vulpix wasn't on red version. Mm-hmm. I remember because I got both. And so what I would do is I like Charizard more. Let's just be honest, that fire version is badass artwork. But I like blue version more just because like you see blue screen. And I let a friend let me like borrow his like Game Boy, like a chunky Game Boy, like the original Game Boy. And I would just go to the first town, transfer over Squirtle, transfer over Bulbasaur, and then I would go into the Viridian Forest before Yellow version would come out. I wouldn't leave until I caught a Pidgeotto. I wouldn't leave until I came out with a Butterfree. I wouldn't leave until I got a Pikachu. And I was Ash Ketchum in my brain. Like I was that weird kid that would like put a stuffed Pikachu in my backpack and go bike around the block.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite that young, so I was like 12, 13, 14. So I was kind of a closet Pokemon nerd.
Oh, I can see that not being like a cool thing for somebody
at
budding their sexual peak.
Not me. I don't know.
Somebody flirting with puberty probably doesn't want to be seen chasing through the woods for a Pokemon.
God, that was not me at all. I have a story. I don't know if I want to tell it on the podcast, but around that time, I learned what 69 meant in class in 6th grade.
What?
And no, like not like I was looking.
What class was that?
I was in class and somebody said, "All right, turn to page 69," and one of the kids was like, 69. I was like, "What's the deal?"
70.
69? I don't understand.
Deal?
What's the deal? And they're like, just look at the numbers and you'll understand. I'm like looking at the numbers. I'm like, I don't fucking get it. Like that was their explanation. And so I was the kid who didn't know what it meant, and they made fun of me for that. So I was like, whatever.
If it wasn't that, they would have found something else, right?
Yeah. No. So it was around that time. Yeah. But so your starter, like, who was your first starter that you picked? Bless.
So like obviously the artwork that you would see in like the Nintendo Powers or just like, you know, in-game manual always was like, I remember like first getting it, and I would see a War Turtle and be like, hey, why does he have like the Super Mario wing cap, man? Because he has like the wings, right?
Yeah.
And I was like so baffled by it. So I think my first ever one, I didn't appreciate Bulbasaur until I was older. So I think it was originally
comes with
Squirtle.
Maturity, I think.
Comes yeah. And but like Charizard 100%. Charizard is the boy.
Yeah. That's the one that's expensive now too. The card that's expensive now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything Charizard.
Charizard, man.
Crazy.
I was like 45 when Pokemon came out, so it wasn't super exciting to me.
Wait, did you just say you were 45?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a joke, like you're supposed to think I was saying 14, and then I roll it into 45.
I was like, excuse
but maybe
me?
I didn't pull it off. I was very old.
He was drinking alcohols. And
I was definitely drinking alcohol when Pokemon came out. Probably not talking to girls.
just killing Yinglings and catching Pokemans.
Yeah.
By the way, for those who are just listening, Bless just showed his base set Charizard.
Yeah, I can tell you where I got this.
It's just in a regular plastic sleeve, and it's killing me. It's not in any kind. It's not even in like a top loader card, like a hard case card.
No, yeah, I probably should. You know, I probably should get that thing. But I can tell you where I got that. My mom took me and a friend to Barnes and Nobles, and you know how like Pokemon cards right now impossible to find, and like there's a comic book shop that's near me that are just complete a-holes. Like I was like, hey, I was just checking to see if you had a restock. They're like, you needed to pre-order, man, online. Everything's sold out and nothing's coming back whatsoever. I'm like, all right, whatever. So anyway, so like back then everything was sold out and it was, you know, the hot craze. And then my mom's like, hey, we'll just go to Barnes and Nobles, get coffee at the minimum, and see if they have Pokemon cards. And they had Pokemon cards, right? And so me and a friend got like maybe 4 packs. And this guy was in one of those packs.
Nice.
I remember that vividly.
Did you bring it back to the comic book store and say, fuck you, man, I got a Charizard?
No, I should though.
What the comic book guy didn't know or didn't want to tell you anyway is that they get like a pre-order of like, 10 cases, and Barnes & Noble gets about 4 million.
True, yeah.
I just looked at
from The Simpsons.
Jay. I had never heard of a Play It Loud Game Boy before, so I just looked it up. This is the coolest Game Boy I've ever seen with the clear case. It's like a full size DMG
Play It Loud.
Game Boy, like the full size one, the original one with the black and white screen or the green and pea green screen. But it's clear. It looks awesome. I've never seen this before. The Play It Loud like case, like that is definitely
plastic,
like late 90s Nintendo, like not quite
like
nailing the
plastic clamshell thing.
Yeah.
But the Play It Loud series, I'm pretty sure. So they had the original Game Boy, which is, I can bring down the original one.
It's a tank.
Yeah. The beige one, the Play It Loud series, I'm pretty sure was pretty much anything that wasn't that. So like they had a red one and a green one and a clear one, and
they have like a white one, like a super stark white one.
I don't
remember.
Think that's actually Nintendo. That might be a refurb.
Oh, you think that's a refurb? Okay.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But like anything that wasn't the original, I'm pretty sure was the Play It Loud series. That was like their second iteration of Game Boys, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, you nailed it. The clear one is the best one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think I had a choice. I think my parents got it for me one Christmas or something, but I was very happy with it.
I miss like old 90s Nintendo like marketing because they were edgy, man.
They were. It was so. I don't know. They missed it to me. I remember that time period for Nintendo, like trying to be edgy and always being just a hair off. Like always being like they're like that kid who's trying to like fit in with the cool kids. He's like Rob Lowe dressed as a teenager.
No, as a kid, I loved it. They marketed the crap out to me, man.
Yeah.
I think like I was the one kid that they're like, yo, man, we're gonna market for this guy. Yo, man, only the cool kids get Game Boys. Mom, I want to be a cool kid.
I don't know. It always seemed like just a little bit off, like just a little bit try hard. Like Sega actually like was rebellious and was doing like were the bad boys, and Nintendo was trying to be a bad boy. You know,
I think that was
remember, like,
your age coming into play there, Briar.
that may be.
Yeah,
I remember
the Nintendo.
I was like 75 at the time. Yeah, Nintendo. Like you never saw marketing that like actually referenced the other company. Never mind made fun of it.
Sega does what Nintendo, and I was like, yeah, that wouldn't. I don't think that would fly nowadays.
Yeah, I don't think
maybe on Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, you never hear like Taco Bell does what Burger King don't. But they should actually. That one's free, Taco Bell. You can have that one for free.
No, and this hurt the game. What was the game? So Overwatch was coming out. It was in beta, right? And then Gearbox made like it's not even Overwatch.
Oh yeah,
but it had
Battleborn.
Battleborn.
Yeah.
They had like a Nintendo moment on Twitter.
Did they?
And it backfired hard.
Oh, no.
And like that's a lot of where like the whole like Overwatch clone, like everything was an Overwatch clone. Battleborn, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Lawbreakers, rest in peace.
Anything with that plasticky aesthetic?
I think it was more so just being a shooter at that time.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a team-based like MMO-ish shooter. Not MMO.
Yeah, I mean, look at the launch of D2. Even D2 tried it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I mean, wasn't Team Fortress kind of the first to do that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like, I feel like I don't know. There was just a hype behind that game that was crazy.
Yeah.
For Overwatch. Like that was probably like the last time I've ever seen a game that.
But
had that much
honestly,
hype.
it was good.
Yeah, I think the last time a game had that much hype, it was Cyberpunk. But
yeah, that wasn't as good.
I
Keanu,
still have never played Overwatch.
I played Cyberpunk all the way through, and I actually enjoyed myself tremendously. And then I played it on the PC, and then I bought the Xbox version as well as a launch Xbox One, and then played it on there like just as a joke on stream, and it was awful. It was really bad. So what else we got in the news this week?
All right. There's a couple of documentaries and movies that have come out that seemed pretty interesting to me. One of them is called Max Reload and the Nether Blasters.
Yeah.
It's a retro game movie that you can get on.
That sounds half retro game, half porn.
Pretty much on any streaming platform. Go Google or if you click the link in the notes, go look at the movie poster. It's got that stereotypical retro text with like lasers coming out of it and stuff, but it's not really like a documentary or anything. It's kind of a story about, if I remember correctly, it's small town video game clerk Max Jenkins, who must go from zero to hero after accidentally unleashing the forces of evil from a cursed ColecoVision game.
Oh,
so there's just like a whole bunch of retro game references, and it's pretty terrible effects. But I went and looked at the reviews, and it's, I think you can watch it for free on on most streaming platforms. But
that's cool.
There was like a review that was like 85 or 90, and then another one that was like 2 out of 10 or something. So it's like that extreme. If you like kind of the campy retro style movies, you'll probably enjoy it. But if you try to take it too serious, you're not gonna like it.
What was that movie that came out a few years back? It was like Kung Fury or something like that. Like
it was about Kung Fury.
Fu Hustle or something, maybe.
That was another good one. But I'm talking about there's like this one dude who was like a 80s. It had like a super 80s retro aesthetic.
Hackerman.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was terrible, but it was actually brilliant. You know what I mean?
Wait, was that the Adam Sandler one?
No. This was like super indie. I think like one dude edited the whole thing. and it has the same like super vaporwave aesthetic.
Yeah,
like it's this one dude. He's like a kung fu like 80s dude with a red bandana and a jean jacket, and he drives like a DeLorean or something, and he fights Hitler, dinosaurs, like everything.
Yes.
Is
And
it
there's
called
time
Kung
travel.
Fury? I gotta find it.
Dude, I love that movie. I remember when that. So my best friend came to visit me when I moved to Memphis, and so they were staying, and it was with a girl that he was just kind of dating that later he married. You know, that's nice, right? But anyway, we were just looking for something, and they're like, I don't know, just pick something to put on TV because they stayed the night. I played Kung Fury, and they're like, oh. But like all of us were like, this is a good movie. This is a great movie.
It is called Kung Fury, and it's the full movie is on YouTube. You can just watch it on YouTube.
Wow, it's amazing, dude.
It is amazing.
Soundtrack too.
It's only
I
like
think
40
David
minutes.
Hasselhoff did the song for it, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Kung Fury.
It's well worth your time. It's 31 minutes long. It's available on YouTube. Some of it's even animated. Like a He-Man movie. It kind of looks like a He-Man, the He-Man TV
I bought
show.
Post-it notes too.
I have like a stack of like 10 packs of Post-it notes. There was another. Okay, so there's another documentary. I'm kind of jumping around here, but there was another documentary that has started on Crackle for free, and you can watch the first part. Each
Crackle's
episode
still
70
around?
minutes long. I think that's what it is. Called "Playing with Power: The Nintendo Story." It's a 5-part mini series. So
right
there's
up
a
my
lot
alley.
of there's like a lot of industry vets that are on it, like whatever the main guy for like the Xbox CEO and Cliff Bleszinski is in it, and like all these different kind of industry players that are talking about Nintendo and kind of how it started. It's supposed to kind of go through the whole arc of Nintendo specifically.
Is this out now, Jay?
Yeah, on Crackle for free.
I'm sorry. What'd you say? Crackle?
Dude, I thought Crackle went away when Jet Dirt 2 came out.
Yeah, I thought that was gone.
I don't know. That's what it says.
Crackle's still around, baby.
Crackle.com.
You guys remember Cracked magazine?
I think so, but that's like the Mad TV magazine. Like it was a little bit too old for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just Mad magazine. Mad TV was.
Mad
show.
TV. I love that. Hey, I really do appreciate you letting me know this because I am gonna watch this. Because
100%.
Like that is right up my alley. I love watching Did You Know Gaming on YouTube. Did you know? And it's just it baffles me with everything. I love it. I love it.
There's some good documentaries on Amazon Prime Video and stuff too. If you haven't seen them, like old school retro ones.
What was that
And
big
ones
one
that
that was on Netflix recently?
Yeah, the video game history.
Yeah, and they got the scan lines on the video games wrong. They did them like vertically instead of horizontally. It looks so weird. Anyhow.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You seen like the Power of Glove and stuff on
Yeah.
Amazon Prime Video? Yeah. All right.
That glove
Other
sucked,
news.
though.
Yeah. it
What?
did.
Power Glove?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm trying to get one. You can get one for like $100, but I'm trying to get one in really good shape and box. Pretty much all the boxes you see, it looks like a 7-year-old ripped it open, which is probably
Yeah.
what happened.
Probably what
Yeah.
happened, yeah. And they only
Terrible.
sold 100 of those. I don't know if you know.
They really didn't sell very many. It was like 100,000 or something.
There's some dude, I watched the documentary. There's some dude in New York who wears one every day.
Hell
That's,
yeah,
like
dude.
that's his shtick. I saw that. Yeah, that's the Power of Glove. I'm pretty sure that's that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was the movie? It was like the Nintendo World Series '92 movie. I forget.
Oh, the Wizard.
The Wizard, and
Yeah.
like the line, it was like I think he was like playing arcade, right? Which doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
And he was just there like,
It's
I have
awesome.
the Power Glove, man. Like,
Nintendo paid a lot of money to be in that movie for that.
Wasn't it
accessory.
basically just one long Nintendo ad?
That's what I keep hearing. Yeah.
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 Rugrats is coming back. Talking about retro. I know it's not video games, but there are a lot of Rugrats video games. There's 27 of them apparently.
I played a lot growing up.
Really?
Really?
I have not played a single one, but I did watch the Rugrats show. Have you seen the aesthetic for this?
It's 3D.
Yeah, it's like 3D. It almost looks like glossy clay animation, kind of, sorta.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they know that their target audience is It's like Animaniacs being remade, right? They're going after the parents, but it's safe to watch for kids, right?
Oh.
You know, and I think that's definitely what they're going for there. All I know is me specifically. Ever watch that one episode of Rugrats where Stu Pickles is making pudding at 3 a.m. and then his wife comes in and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I don't know anymore."
I think I do. There's
that
a
is
meme
me right now, and this is a cry for help.
There was a meme on Twitter, and I think it showed the dad and the mom, and they're in the kitchen, and just the dark, the dark shadows underneath the eyes and stuff, and it says, according to canon, these people were 33 years old or something like that. I'm like, oh my god, this is me right now.
Remember the dude named Lipschitz?
What?
There's a guy in the show. He was like the doctor of Tommy, Dr. Lipschitz.
Oh, really? That sounds familiar. I haven't seen it.
And as a kid, I was like, what? That's the way I can say shit.
Lipschitz, mom. That's totally Lipschitz, mom. So, talk to us about Pokemon Arceus. I know.
Sure. Oh man, good thing I work for Nintendo and I'm equipped for this. No, in all seriousness. So I think like the one thing when Sword came out is a lot of people are like, "Oh, we want Pokemon Breath of the Wild." Like, everything is Breath of the Wild-esque where you can just go through fields and catch Pokemon. And I think that was somewhat a little bit touched with like the wild area in Sword and Shield. But this game is like going back in time to like when this area was kind of discovered, and it's the same area of Diamond and Pearl, I believe. And so you go out, you have these old school, 1800s Japan
Steampunk.
Pokeball. Yeah, a little steampunky. And it's Breath of the Wild Pokemon, man. But the coolest thing is it has the best starter from any Pokemon in it. And you can be a Gen 1 try hard. What?
Sandic?
No. Cyndaquil? Rowlet. Rowlet, baby. Rowlet is the greatest starter ever. Yeah, I'm gonna die on that hill. Anyway, yeah, but the thing is like the I don't know. So like the FPS gets a little choppy in that from like just the footage that was shown. And I think the reason because Nintendo has like this insanely high bar when they ship games, right? Like you have to hit this bar. And so I think what they're going to do is they're showing it now to get the hype for it, but it's going to be a launch title for the Switch Pro. 100%.
Oh, you think so?
100%. Like, 4K or 1080p, 60 FPS, I really do. And like everything that would be for like the 3DS, it's down compatible, but it's going to just get sluggish over time like an old iPad,
Do you think that's coming out this year, the Switch Pro?
I think it'll be March of next year, and they'll make it 5 years old.
Did you hear the speculation that they're going to call it the Super Nintendo Switch?
That's awesome, but they're not going to do that.
You should look into it.
Yeah.
There's some industry players that have actually leaked that name specifically that have been right about things before.
I will tell you, man, I was going to say something that wasn't TOS friendly. Oh man, that's amazing. That is the greatest thing.
I mean, would anybody hate that name, Super Nintendo Switch? I think it's
that is great.
I think it's great.
It's
a little confusing though.
What? How is it confusing? It's a better Nintendo Switch.
Because it's the Super Nintendo, not the Super Switch.
No, the title would be like the new 3DS XL, right? Right?
No, but you don't call it the new Nintendo 3DS XL, right?
But
you call it the new 3DS XL.
Okay. The Nintendo. Okay. The Super Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Nintendo Super Switch.
No one wants that.
I just am picturing parents going into GameStop and being like, "I'd like to get that new Super Nintendo."
Yeah. And they hand them a SNES.
And they hand them a perfect condition SNES that's worth thousands.
Oh, I'd rather have that, honestly.
I do owe the IRS quite a bit of money. Can I please have a Super Nintendo?
Do you take Super Nintendos instead of tax returns?
I don't know. Super Nintendo's like my favorite system of all time, so I would be very nostalgic for that name.
Yeah.
Because the retro stuff, maybe they're trying to hit that too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, I think what they're trying to do is this is not a brag. This is more so like a little bit of a cry for help again. My streams, I'm very lucky to play other things, and I just genuinely like Nintendo. And for some reason, Nintendo, sends me things sometimes, and which is very nice. Pog you, Nintendo.
Like what kind of things? Like milk?
Yeah, they delivered groceries sometimes. No, just like games, like Apex for the Switch or something, like a nice little package. But I always worry because like more and more, I feel like I'm losing my mind, and so just like I feel like maybe they keep me around because like I'm the edgy guy for the Switch that they're trying to go after, like the edgy adults, right?
You're the play it loud of the modern generation.
Yeah, I'm playing it loud. No, they're definitely not.
I've known you for a few years now, Bless, and I can tell you 100% for sure that that's not what they're doing. I love you, Bless, but
get bless or get out. Remember, get in or get out. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Just all the text from Nintendo Power and all that always had like the ripped, like they were ripping the page
it was
off.
so cool,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like for N64 is the pull down, and then it went to ripped.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until GameCube when it got a little bit cleaner. And so this is an interesting theory if you want to hear it. So remember, if you're a wrestling fan, at the time I was, remember when WCW was like, hey, if you watch WWF right now, The Rock's gonna lose to Mick Foley, right? And like they lost all their viewers by spoiling that to see Mick Foley do it. I feel like that moment made Nintendo be like, you know what? Let's just edge down a little bit. Let's become a little bit more family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of wrestling games on the 64.
Well, yeah, 100%. But I'm talking about like after Nintendo Switch entering the GameCube era, which is like 2001, 2002. Like they went a little bit more family friendly, right? At least with like the on the box for like Game Boy Advance SP games or like GameCube. That's when it kind of just started going more, like family friendly. Wouldn't you agree a little bit?
I would say,
adds up.
It seems to me, and I can't remember specifically, there were the 64 library is relatively small compared to like the Wii library, but the GameCube library is even smaller, I think.
Yeah.
And there wasn't nearly as much third-party support for the GameCube.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where the edge comes from on a Nintendo console, right? It's like Nintendo's not making first-party Call of Duties. That comes from Activision. And if Activision doesn't support the console, then you don't get it.
Yeah. Lord, do you remember the freaking Wii GoldenEye?
Yeah.
Just give us GoldenEye.
Rogue Agent.
Man. No, but I do remember the GameCube. I was really shocked that the game that Nintendo chose to be like the Wavebird game, but the Wavebird was the first ever like first party wireless controller.
Yeah.
And the game that they put the flagship on was WrestleMania 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't you remember those commercials?
No.
There's a lot of money involved in that, I imagine.
Yeah.
A lot of cash changed hands.
Vince McMahon was like, "Yo, yeah, baby. Get that Nintendo."
The Wavebird still goes for like 60 to $80 in decent.
It's still awesome.
Yeah. Well, Smash players want it because like for it's not a child's game, Briar. Smash Brothers is competitive. Anyway, but like they re-release like these like GameCube controllers for it. And like people go out and buy those Wavebirds, man. It's crazy.
They still sell. They make brand new GameCube controllers with USB ports on them, so you can plug them into a Switch.
But that's not first party.
No, it's not.
I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
I hear you. They make docks for the Switch that has GameCube ports on it. I think Brooke makes those. Brooke. What?
That's a great idea. My friend Sharktooth, he has that. Yeah, he does because he went to like a St. Jude event where you and I had a lot of beers at. All of us had a lot of beers at. Yeah, and he was. I remember he came.
That was awesome.
He came down. He came down with the Switch, and it was like so it could plug into a TV or just sit there, and you can put like actual GameCubes in there. Man, that's innovation.
Yeah.
Sorry, you might think I'm memeing, but those were good times, dude.
I still don't. I don't think they're gonna name it the Super Nintendo Switch. Like the company that named the Wii U isn't gonna be as brilliant as to name it the Super Nintendo Switch.
How much are you gonna put on that? Like, what are you gonna put up for that, Mr. Negatory?
Nothing.
He's shaving his eyebrows if they call it the Super Nintendo.
Or hear me out. Okay. I'll be the delegator, right? So you pay me both 25 gifted subs, and then the winner I'll just give the 50 gifted subs to.
You want to know who wins in that scenario?
Bless. Twitch does. Twitch. That's right. I'll you know what I'll do is I'll give Bless the 25 subs, and then I'll say I just wanted the shout out.
Then refund. Yeah.
Oh no, dude. That's
Click that button. Take him right back.
Yeah, that is the story that is happening right now. All right.
I just want the shout out. I can't believe that's an option, dude.
Yeah, why is that? It's just have people lie. Like, catch them in a lie, let them lie. Don't. For those folks that are still interested in the Game & Watch Mario Edition, it is going to be stopping production at the end of this month, March 31st. Man. I have seen them in store. Like, they are available if you look. You may not be able to get them online still, but and even on eBay, I don't think they're going for very much more than retail right now. But mark my word, a couple of years from now, if you want to pick one up, you're going to be paying a premium. So
I really should. I have one, and I really need to put that thing back in the box. I don't know, because I want to keep it as a clock, but that screen is very tiny for a clock. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Like
it's on Amazon.
Is it? It's available on Amazon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh no, but the clock is cool. No, the clock is cool.
Does it stay on? What? Does it stay on? The clock?
If it's charged, yeah.
Can you charge it? Can you plug it in and charge it while it's on your bedside
in clock
table?
Mode? Yeah, you can.
You know the story about the Game & Watch, right? You know how the Game & Watch came to be and all that, right?
No.
Maybe I don't know.
So it was before Game Boy, I'm pretty sure. And they couldn't think of a reason why somebody would want a handheld game console. So the idea of the watch was to make it practical and to be able to justify the expense. Like, people are buying it because it's a watch, but it also plays games. It's kind of the Trojan horse of the NES and getting the Rob the Robot in the house and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the game, and the games were awful on the Game & Watch, like the little,
the Tiger Electronics.
It was Tiger before Tiger.
Yeah. So it's just really interesting how nobody thought there was a market for video games back then.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I will say this, because I did play. What game was it on? I think it was the Game Boy Advanced. It had the card reader.
Oh yeah,
e-reader.
Yeah.
Yep. And so they ported forward a bunch of games from Game & Watch, and maybe it's because it was on a Game Boy Advance, but way better than Tiger Electronics.
Yeah.
I've owned a lot of different Game & Watch games across the years, through whatever
the actual hardware,
through just the nostalgia of things. And I don't think I've ever played it once. I've never played a single game.
Fuck, Jay, you never even just out of curiosity, let me just put some batteries in this thing and see what it's like.
Well, no, not like an actual Game & Watch. I'm saying e-reader. I've played e-reader games before, and there's kind of nostalgia type games that have like a bundle of games together that you can buy, and I've just never, or games that are included on your 3DS or having the ambassador program on your 3DS and stuff like that. Like
okay.
I have never actually played a Game and Watch game.
I get that. Like I thought you were saying like you actually had the hardware in your hand.
No.
And we're like, I'm just not gonna hit any of these very enticing looking buttons. These buttons that look like toys and candy.
He's licking his hardware, y'all.
Have you ever licked a Switch cartridge?
No. I've been warned.
Do it right now.
It tastes awful.
Yo, son donates to St. Jude right now. I'll do it right now.
Right now.
I actually like the taste.
Really?
Send if you're listening on Twitch right now live. Actually, how about this? If you're listening on the podcast after the fact, if you send an @ to Blessious with a receipt of your St. Jude donation, he might.
I'll make it a TikTok, baby.
He'll do a TikTok. He'll send you a picture of him licking a Switch.
You should make like a line of them.
What's
like,
the minimum
like
donation?
A Coke line of
minimum
Switch
donation?
cartridges?
$25.
$25. All right,
fair.
there you go.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's like people $1 donation. I was like, all right, I gotta set a limit here.
Yeah. Is it just the first person, or everybody who donates $25 gets their own TikTok?
If there's multiple 25s, I'll make I'll make it a weird thread.
A different game for every donation. Compare the tastes of each cartridge. Oh, Breath of the Wild.
I don't really have that many cartridges, but maybe I'll do like one of me licking Ring Fit Adventure.
That's a sweaty undertaking.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Are you a mostly digital download guy?
Oh, 100%. It's the greatest thing on the Switch, though. You know, like you don't have to worry about carts.
I think that the Switch might become one of the most collectible platforms of all time.
Oh wow!
Because of limited run and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
He's a huge help.
Honestly, like because so many people are digital buyers of these games that the physical copies are going to be much like lower quantity, and like someday the Switch isn't going to be like a supported platform anymore. And just like with the Super Nintendo or the GameCube or whatever. Like, people are going to be out there looking for the games of their childhood.
Like 10, 20 years from now is what you're saying.
Yeah. Maybe sooner
Go
with the Switch.
Was my first game. I think I had the physical thing for Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. That was, I have it over there. I got the Master Ball thing on it. Yeah.
I have that.
That came with.
I have that Master Ball awful controller here somewhere. It's terrible.
Oh,
yeah, I played the whole game with it.
Really?
Oh God.
What do you have it?
Do I have it?
Yeah.
It's just a ball with a little nub on top.
I don't know. You have to realize since that game came out, I moved and a lot of stuff is in storage because I'm waiting for my wife to get home from Japan and.
Not an acceptable excuse. I want to see
the
Master Ball controller.
Yeah, that's it.
See, Jay can come through.
Look at that. That is in itself an amazing idea.
It's a really cool idea. It's just awful in practice. Like this is not.
You don't know when's up.
Huh?
Yeah, you don't know when it's up. There's no like little groove to make you know that you're at like. Yeah.
So that's just all it's got is a thumbstick.
Yeah,
thumbstick, and there's a button on top. Yeah, but you can transport your favorite Pokemon onto it, and you could hear Mew Mew. You can hear Pikachu go Pikachu. You can hear Eevee say Eevee.
It's kind of like the Pokewalker, kind of, sort of.
Oh yeah, with the Pikachu yellow version.
No, Soul Silver, Heart Gold.
Oh.
Well, you're talking about the like training Pikachu thing.
Yeah,
I remember that. The Tamagotchi Pikachu. Yes.
Yeah. That came with the collector's edition of yellow version, right? Or like the pre-order bonus or something.
Oh man, I don't remember.
I don't know, man.
Probably right.
Funko Land loved me as a kid because my parents were into video games.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, dude. There's this guy. His name was Winston. Yo, shout out to you, Winston. If you ever came by a stream, yo, Pog you. I'll give you a sub for life.
That's right.
That's no joke. If I find you, Winston, you're getting that. Yeah, he was so cool, man. He was like, but he was that guy that was like, Conker's Bad Fur Day is not a game for your son, man.
Oh, fuck Winston, man.
I mean, was he wrong?
Come on, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like mature game, right? There were some fart jokes. There was like,
dude, it's ironic because my mom got me Grand Theft Auto 3 when I was 12.
Nice. Setting you up for the family business. That's what she was doing.
Yeah.
12 is, it depends on the kid. I think if you think the kid's mature enough to understand it.
Yeah. I remember watching on VHS Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, the second one. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. And I remember my mom came in at a scene, and I'm like 9, 10, and she was like, maybe you shouldn't be watching this. I said, I'm mature, Mom. And she was like, all right, and just walked out.
Oh, you convinced me. That was a solid argument.
So I have a similar story. I loved basketball, right? And in 8th grade, my mom rented a movie. It had Ray Allen in it and Denzel Washington. I don't remember which one it is. I want to say The Air Up There, but I don't think that's what it was. But she rented this movie for me, and I was watching it in the middle of the afternoon while my mom was vacuuming. And of course, she happens to come in the room right in the middle of a pound me sex scene.
Nice.
And I was just sitting there like this. Like, my mom rented me. I don't think she knew that it was, she's like, it's a basketball movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like, full on like softcore porn, but with like loud noises kind of thing. And
nice.
What's the name of the movie again? I was so embarrassed I turned it off.
For research?
For research. What's the name of the movie? Just look up. It's a basketball movie. It actually has Ray Allen in it. Not playing himself, but like as the protagonist. And Denzel Washington's in it.
When I was a kid, my mother rented RoboCop for, I think it was probably like my 7th or 8th birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a bunch of little kids sitting in front of a TV completely transfixed by the most violent thing they've ever seen in their entire life.
Moida.
Never got into RoboCop.
Oh, man, it's not too late, man. That movie still holds up. It just got added to Mortal Kombat 11.
I know that, if you want a Pokemon wholesome story about my mom, similar to the not wholesome Spy Who Shagged Me one. So Pokemon Stadium's out, right? And that came out shortly after Pokemon Yellow, right? And so what you would do is you could, you would have your Pokemon as high as they could go, and it was like the Pokemon Master League, right? But there was a caveat. If you beat this thing with a Pikachu in your party, that Pikachu would be able to learn Surf, right? And so my parents and it was a family event. Like every night we would stay up, take turns like playing, and we would go through and try to beat this thing, and we would get so close, and we would never get it, right? Never beat it. Never. And so I'm in 3rd, 4th grade. We're outside for gym, and it's maybe like an hour until school's out, right? And so it's like one of those weird things where I see my mom walking out, right? I'm outside, right? And she's like, hey, I came to pick you up early. I'm like, what? Because that's the greatest thing you can hear as a kid.
Yeah.
No matter, even if you're in 12th grade, man, that's the greatest thing. Like, what? Yeah, man. And she was like, Kyle, I got Surfing Pikachu. And she
picked you up because she got it.
And
that's awesome.
And I bawled. And so like she had it like paused right there. She had it paused like right where like the enemy had like 1 health. She had a full Pokemon party, right? And she was like, here, you press the button, killed it, made the Pokemon faint. You get the trophy. You see like you've unlocked Surfing Pikachu. What move do you want to delete for Surf? And like I'm just there bawling. She got me out early for that.
That's awesome.
And I think that is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
Yeah, your mother's my new hero.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you get to play the Surfing Pikachu minigame after?
Oh yeah, I did, man. Yeah, so like obviously because it saves in Stadium, then it transfers your Pokemon back. It overwrites the save file on Yellow and like the thing, and like that's the first thing I did, and that minigame sucked.
That was one of the fun facts that I found out about Yellow, by the way.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Because there, for those that don't know, there's a Surfing Pikachu mini game that you can only get if you did this thing in Stadium, right? And so it was like between Cinnabar Island and the Poison Gym that had a beach, and I was like right around like here. I know, weird, but you would go there and it's all cut off, and you would have this thing where you could like it was basically QuickTime events if I remember correctly, and it wasn't fun. But Pikachu could surf, and so when you use Surface Pikachu in game, both versions, Yellow and Stadium, would have its own surf effect. And you think you're not going to use surf?
Of course, you're going to use surf.
You're going to use surf, man. It's the coolest thing. And the other thing is like if you look at Alolan Raichu from Pokemon Sun and Moon, he surfs. I think that's a nice little homage to those old days because he surfs on his tail.
That's right. Yeah. So with all the Pokemon card unboxings and all that stuff, the Surfing Pikachu card, I didn't really understand the actual significance of that. I thought it was just funny to have Surfing Pikachu, and I didn't really realize that it had gone back that far, and that's why there's a Surfing Pikachu.
Like, it doesn't take much for me to cry, but like, no, I was bawling. And like, man, is your kid okay? A Surfing Pikachu, man.
Great.
Yeah. That's my best story I got.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Did you, Briar, click on these super expensive Super Nintendo Famicom bookcase things?
Yes, I did. Like, what the fuck? They're like $25 per cartridge. So
$23, or if you pay the low price of $23 or $29 if you want the gold-plated one.
Yeah.
You can have a singular case for one of your Famicom or SNES games.
That doesn't even have like the name of the game on it, right? They're all generic, isn't it? What just happened? All right.
Oh my gosh.
I'm this guy now.
Precision. It says precision game storage. Premium precision game storage.
That's so it. Like, why? Why would you get this? Like, it doesn't. It just looks like book. Maybe you're just afraid like your friends are gonna see that you're a video game collector, so you want to make them all look like books.
Yeah, if you were Maria Canto, is that her name? Maria Canto?
Oh,
yeah.
Minimalist.
Yeah.
I mean,
she would not dig my house.
Or mine, no. If you had a bunch of money and you really had like a handful of games and you really wanted to make them look slick, sure. But if you're a collector, you're not touching this with a 10-foot pole.
No,
I wouldn't think.
I could see it. Maybe if at least there was like some custom art for each game.
Maybe,
like at that price, they could certainly afford to do it. There's no appeal to this. Nobody's gonna order this, right?
I wouldn't think. I mean, like,
did this story come from the Onion?
I'm trying to think of the kind of the person that would buy this. Like, if you live in a library and everything has to look like a book, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, how would you even know which game was in which book? I mean, they look classy as fuck, but it's just that they're completely impractical and crazy expensive.
I'm wondering if you can get like a specific.
Did you hear about the latest news from the Polymega, Jay?
No, actually.
I should have put this in the notes, but Polymega has lost their business license.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Is that like an oversight, or is that...
Probably. They probably just didn't pay their dues in California. But do you know what the Polymega is, Bless?
No.
The Polymega is it's an emulation system where you can put PS1, Saturn, what other systems?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
discs into it, and it'll play those. And then, but the problem is it's had a lot of problems just getting out the door. Like, they just haven't been able to ship this thing. Originally, you were supposed to pre-order it on Walmart.com. Then Walmart said, nope, not here. So it's been kind of this ongoing thing. Is they've sent review units out to YouTubers and stuff, and these people all really like it. They say it's a really nice device, but it's just $500. You know, it's like really expensive.
The base unit, yeah.
But yeah, they lost their business license, which is probably an oversight, and probably indicates kind of why they've had problems business wise.
It's oddly super simple to lose a business license. Like, and like you miss an email like, hey, by the way, fill this out by this date, or your business will be dissolved. And if you get a bunch of spam, it's easy to lose those emails.
Yeah, for sure, right? Like I don't think
if you're a normal person that doesn't own a business that's trying to produce,
yeah,
that's the thing, right? That's why it's a warning sign, I think, for this company. It's like this company that's had trouble, like keeping things going with Walmart, keeping things going with their pre-orders, keeping things like on the up and up. Like clearly, they're engineers who don't have a sense for this. They need a business manager. It looks like.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Man,
or they should fire the one they got.
I could use a business manager.
Same.
Man.
I was trying to convince my wife to do it for years. Like, just stop doing what you're doing and just be the business manager.
That's it's unfortunate. Like, we've seen the writing on the wall for a long time with the Polymega, and I mean, I keep wanting to have hope, but it's just so obvious that it's not going to work out at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I hope that they ship these things because I know people want them, but
there's probably going to be like 100 of them shipped.
Right?
Kind of, it's gonna be on a shelf, kind of like the Nintendo Power Glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this thing is better than a Power Glove, though. For the people who want this thing, this box, I think this box is actually pretty good. It's way overpriced for most of us, but like if you have a huge collection of Saturn discs, of PlayStation 1 discs, of what else does it play? It plays other discs too. But if you have that collection, right, and you're sick of replacing the disk drives on your original hardware Saturn over and over again throughout the years, like this device actually has some main appeal for you. I don't think there's a huge market for those people, right? I don't think they're gonna be selling 10 million of these things like a PlayStation would.
Yeah, maybe that's probably in their eyes like a way to justify the cost, right?
Yeah,
because
good point. Yeah, we're only gonna sell 6 of these, so we might as well.
Well, we're only going to sell 6.
Hopefully the people that ordered them get them, at the very least.
Yeah, true.
So on that vein, talking about software emulation hardware, the Retron SQ is now available for pre-order. And this seems like it's kind of Retron's competition for the Analog Pocket. So the Analog Pocket is the end-all, be-all kind of FPGA, hardware FPGA system that is highly anticipated and sold out pre-orders very, very quickly.
Although they've said that they're going to have more pre-orders available.
Right. Yeah, they had that whole letter kind of like 2 weeks ago, like pretty sure it was during the episode or whatever we were talking about it, where they were kind of trying to calm the qualms of the bot situation and the scalping on eBay. They're going to be keeping an eye on that and all that
bots
kind of
are
thing.
horrible, man.
Yeah. But the Retron SQ for $75, you can pre-order and order it, and it's basically it plays Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance, very similar to like a Retron 5 scenario. And it looks, it looks pretty cute. It's like this little.
What is this?
Cube.
I'm sorry.
It's called the Hyperkin Retron SQ. And I think it's available in 2 different colors, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's like a black and gold, and then like a kind of Miami pink and green kind of thing.
Oh yeah, kind of the retro, Miami turquoise and pink. But you can have an SD card slot in it, which obviously is going to be used for ROMs.
Yeah, but ROMs with Retron stuff is a little different. Like you kind of got to do this like weird method where it thinks you're patching a game. It's not very straightforward.
It does say it upscales to 720p 4:3 and 16:9 upscales to 720p. It's 60 frames HD.
And this thing plays Game Boy games on TV.
Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color.
For $75, that's not terrible, to be honest.
No, it is software emulation, so it's not it's not a high end device, but it's only $75. So if you want to play some games at 720p on your TV, I think this is actually pretty good. It also comes with a Scout controller, which is a pretty good controller.
Yeah, for Game Boy, let's just be honest, 720p is overkill.
Yeah.
What would be the resolution for a Game Boy game?
It's low.
32p?
Something like that.
Yeah, like how many pixels were on a Game Boy screen?
I don't know.
You know what? I'll Google it.
Okay.
How many
DPI dots per inch, maybe 7.
It like I'm not that interested in this, but I actually have a Retron 5 that does play Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Color carts already, and it works pretty good.
Really?
160, guys.
160p. Nice.
160p.
That's high res.
Terrible.
That thing looked like garbage in the day. When it came out, it looked like garbage. I mean, we played it, we loved it because it was a novelty, but it didn't look good even in the day.
Well, the worst part was just not having a light.
Yeah.
Yeah. SP, man, that thing blew my mind.
Yeah.
I remember because I had the light. My mom was always like, make sure you sit under a light, or whatever for the Game Boy. And then she got me like it was like a little light that would go in the US or like the,
like a worm
whatever
light.
the thing, the worm light,
Yep.
that would go up and like and it would cast like everything would be lit up, but too bright. All you see is light.
You
don't see the
reflection of the
pixels.
screen. Yeah.
So,
So
and then the SP, I remember that blowing my mind trying to get a Militech. And like, why isn't my Feebas beautiful enough to evolve? and then, sorry, that's a thing in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, but
have you been keeping your eye on the Pocket at all, Bless? Do you know about the analog Pocket?
I see people like Italian tweet it, and then I go to their page, and it's just like metal melting gifs, and I'm just like, I don't understand this.
Yeah. So analog products are basically they're kind of replicating the original hardware. So a lot of systems that come out nowadays are just something to basically play the software of your cartridge. So you put the cartridge in the system in like a Retron, for example, it recognizes what the card is, and then it loads a ROM of that game. While the analog systems, it's actually playing just like your original hardware would.
I get you.
It uses the original cartridge. It uses like the original save and loads all that stuff. So having an analog Pocket, which it's a 2K screen in like 3 inches. It's a 2K resolution screen. It's like whatever 2100 by 1440. It's ridiculous. And it'll play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. It has a adapter for Game Gear. It has an adapter for TurboGrafx Hue cards, and a couple of other systems too. I think like
an SD card for ROMs.
Yeah, it has has an SD card slot. It has all these different overlays that you can have and make it look like the original Game Boy games and all that stuff. And it also you can purchase separately as a dock to basically turn it into a Switch and have it project to your screen and stuff.
Dude, that thing is beautiful. Like,
yeah.
I would definitely buy this Pocket thing.
Yeah, it's sold out in less than 50. It's sold out pre-orders in like 10 minutes.
I think it was like 10 seconds. It was fast.
I got mine at minute 8. I think my order was like number 52,000.
Frodo couldn't even get one.
I really want this. Like, I really do.
They're going to be reopening pre-orders, and basically to get the Game Boy or the Analog Pocket with all the accessories, it was like $400 and some odd dollars. 400.
This was 400?
No. The system's $250, but the dock's like $70, and the Game Boy or the Game Gear adapter is like $40. And
dude, as an HDMI out, dude, I'd be playing Pokemon like old
That's what
school.
I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm so excited. We're so excited about that, and hopefully they'll.
I'll give you 300 for yours.
I already called it. I got dibs.
I want this so bad. Oh my god.
So
dude, they're playing Golden Sun.
Yeah, and I've talked about wanting a Golden Sun, a proper Golden Sun remake on Switch.
Before Smash Bros. Ultimate came out, they re-upped their copyright on Golden Sun. The company that made it, Camelot. And everyone's like, "What? Golden Sun?" But no, it was for the Isaac assist trophy.
Oh. Well, it could be for more than one.
Making the new Mario Golf.
You know what? I'll Google that for you.
Thank you.
I watched some information. I didn't put this on the news, but it was talking about, why there was no baseball or tennis games. There's no Mario Sports baseball or tennis on, was it the Switch? Because Camelot wasn't making those, and Camelot apparently had the rights to those games for the Nintendo characters.
Oh,
which was
really? That's weird.
But Camelot did make a golf game for the Wii that looked very similar to a Mario Golf.
It didn't have the Mario characters.
Yeah,
man.
It's like everybody golfs or something.
Something like that, yeah.
But I will say this: two things. The one thing, I was never big into Mario Golf. I would get it, and I was like, golf is boring. I want to play Pokemon. But this has me actually excited for the new Mario Golf because like there's a mode in it that's very much like Golf with Friends, right? But it's not a putt. It's golf. Like it's
speed golf, like battle golf.
Oh man,
yeah, and I'm excited for that, and I want to be drip Waluigi. But the other thing about this, and like I'm please don't take this the wrong way.
I'm definitely gonna take it the wrong way, whatever way that is. I haven't even decided yet. I don't even know what the wrong way is gonna be, but I'm gonna strive to do my best to take it that way.
Okay. Whenever you see a American studio like a Retro Studios or a Camelot make a Nintendo game, please go support that. Because bro, Nintendo has such a high bar for their games, man. It's rare for them to give people outside of that little pocket chances,
Yeah.
And I check, every month to see if Nintendo's hiring, and they're hiring so many people for Retro Studios in Texas, who's making the new Metroid Prime. And so it just makes me happy, man, I hope they nail this, and I hope it's badass.
Yep.
Sorry, that was my Kona patriotism.
No, I'm with you. I'm looking forward to this game in a big way. I'm actually a big fan of Mario Golf for the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube. I actually like the Dreamcast, the Nintendo 64 version more. I think just because that's the one I'm used to. But I just find it to be one of the most relaxing video games to play in the world, and just having that goofy Mario theme golf course it's fun, and the characters are fun. Waluigi swinging a golf club is funny to me every time. Yeah.
Dude, and you know what I think would be fun? I didn't mean to cut you off. But my thing is just super quick. The fact that it has that party mode where it's golf with friends or golf it, but you can also play that like a Wii and just be there
oh yeah.
That's cool. That's cool, man. And I hope it's, I know with the Mario Tennis Aces All-Stars or the tennis one, everything was online. So, slay Camelot, slay. We want Golden Sun, so I will buy this for you.
All right. Arcade golf games are particularly good. Did you ever play the Hot Shot series?
Yeah.
Like the Vita
That's Camelot as well.
Yeah. Was it really? Okay, that makes sense. I love those games until the point where it just gets too hard and you can't beat it anymore.
Yeah.
But
yeah, what's that Neo Geo golf game that's really good too? And then the arcade one with the ball, that was really fun.
Oh yeah,
Golden Tee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spilled a lot of beers on those things.
Yeah.
A lot of beers.
Did you say you spilled a lot of beers on those things?
I mean, you gotta really whack that ball. You gotta wind up like Happy Gilmore. You gotta take a run at it.
I this is off the topic, but this is a compliment to you guys, and I'm sorry if I am taken away from your show time, but I just want to say all of my experiences with you guys, whether it's a GCX or a seen you play live summit, have been amazing, and I appreciate the time that you guys are just kind to me, let alone have a beer with me.
Oh man, I love having beers with you. You're fun as hell. Do you remember at the Borderlands event?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little tipsy when I sat down to play that game.
you and I at that Borderlands event did nothing. Did nothing, but we're we need to make most of this free.
Yeah, free booze.
And also, I don't mean to be that guy, but we are in a state that has
legal
things. And I went into that already just on another plane, man. And then I was like, whoa, open bar, bro? Yeah, Gearbox, what's up?
I don't remember. Did we hang out at that event? I don't remember.
I think we did. I think I had dinner with you at a sushi restaurant, maybe.
Oh, you were there? Okay.
Yeah. That was a big dinner. There's probably 20 people sitting at that table, I think.
I'm trying to remember. There were so many people there.
Oh, I think I know why I don't remember, because I was on a different plane.
Well, you were hanging out with other folks.
Oh, I might have been with Mr. Fruit and them. Yeah, but I do know. I was at the. I think. I know I checked the hotel bar like before we left. Like that night. I didn't see you guys out at the patio, but like I was again on another plane, man. So I went back to my room early.
I still have. I recently hung up that jacket in my closet. The kind of
Borderlands jacket.
My wife.
It's such a cool jacket.
And dirty.
Oh, what happened?
It's just like she used it and used it and used it and used it and used it, and it is definitely it faded is kind.
It's worn. It's got that worn look. It's retro. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was really cool. I remember signing in. They're like, "Hey, what's your size, man?" I'm like, "I think I'm a large."
Did you have to like resize too? Because those jackets ran a little small.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and they're like, I was like, they just handed me the next one because they could see my mental state.
Totally with it, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I remember seeing like LA like content creators pull up in crazy cars. I'm like struggling with taxes right now, man.
Yeah, right. Hey.
Sorry, that was too real.
That was a weird event because there's a bunch of people there that I wanted to see, but it was so fast that you just It was like it was an in and out, and it was like a week after, or like a couple of weeks after we'd been down in St. Jude.
No, it was like 5 days after that.
Oh, was it that quick?
It was like the next week. Yes, I remember. That was a rough couple of weeks.
I had like that platinum hair still. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was like less than a week later. It was. I'm pretty sure it was like. Was it the next weekend or the weekend after? It was a very short.
It was like bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mean to. We were talking about another game earlier, and I want to say the nothing against the people or like the then publishers, but that was the worst planned thing ever. They had me going out. My flight out of that event for a game that won't be mentioned was during a presentation of the event.
What? So they weren't even
done with the Destiny 2 premiere. Yeah, it was like they had stuff still going on. It was still going on, and I was already on the plane out.
Wow.
So like I had to show up to the event with luggage.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. How bizarre.
Classic
I basically, I kind of had to finagle my way to get an invite to that, and then that was my birthday present to myself, was flying down there and doing that, because I wasn't on the list for that. So I mean, I was on the list to, like, I could go, but
right. I remember that. That was a huge. Everything about that was so messed up, because I remember that, and so I was one of the considered lucky guys. But was I so lucky? I had to go out during a presentation.
You couldn't like ask for a later flight or anything. That was weird. It's weird.
Well, like when you used to start, and when you're like, that was like one of the first times that was allowed for me. One of my first times. You don't.
First time your wife let you out of the house.
Yeah. First time my wife let me on the plane. But like, you don't think to ask for that, right? But like, it's so bizarre, because I remember seeing Tefty, and like they had like the box lunches for everybody, and it was like a sandwich or a wrap. And then he's like, "So what'd you think?" I'm like, "Oh, I have to leave in 10 minutes." He's like, "What?"
It's a pretty good impression of Tefty.
He's hoping for that Narc remake.
Uh-huh. He is the Narc remake. Narc 2021.
Talk about, was there any more news, Briar, that...
No, not that I saw. No.
Right. Into Pokemon we go. Back to Pokemon.
Sorry. I don't.
Sorry for being so divergent.
No, not at all.
No. So this is kind of our routine. We like chat. We talk about the news. We diverge a lot. We eventually come back to the game. It's just kind of what happens.
So Pokemon. I played this game. I remember, like, I bought this game because I was old, right? I was too old to play. I I don't think it's unfair to say this game is aimed at children. Like kind of.
It was originally.
No, I mean it's an RPG.
Like it had a cartoon series.
Don't you talk anything about that cartoon series.
It had an associated
Ash
cartoon
is 31
series.
years old. He's married to Misty and is happy in my brain.
But like it got so much press that I decided, it's what were Game Boy cartridges at the time, like $20-$30. So I picked it up and I gave it a shot. I'm like, oh, this is a traditional Japanese RPG wrapped in like a cute wrapper. Like this is what this is, with the added benefit of having this like catch 'em all collectathon kind of side goal, which is actually a pretty brilliant idea, right?
Yeah, the collect 'em all. I am a collector at heart. I just have
no
always
shit.
I mean, when I was a kid, I was into basketball cards, and I got some pretty terrible stories about that. But Pokemon was, and that was kind of like when I was discovering RPGs. It was kind of around the same time as like Super Mario RPG, and then Pokemon came out. So it was like all these accessible RPG games plus the collecting mechanic was so enticing to me. It's like, gotta catch them all. Like I knew every single, all 151 in order. I knew all of the Pokemon names. I would sing along during the Pokemon show in very quietly at my friend's house because I was trying to act cool. Yeah. Pokemon rap. And be the best. Anyways. So it was very special for me, but I didn't have anybody to share it with, so that was unfortunate. It was like I was all alone.
Well, you had a whole cartoon.
Yeah,
all your friends.
I'm gonna say something very sad, and like I agree with everything. Like I had one friend that was kind of friends with for a little, enough for him to loan me a Game Boy. We never played it together or whatever, right? And people would talk about it in school, but like it sucked because my parents had DirecTV, right? And I couldn't watch the anime because it was removed from WGN for some reason because they made kids WB, and I was like, I would do everything to plead to my mom to pay for these overpriced VHS tapes. Please, I want to be able to watch it. And so like I would rewatch over and over the two VHS tapes that were the one of like him Ash fighting his first journey, and then it was him versus Brock, and then him versus Misty. Like those were the three VHS tapes because like
really early.
Yeah, it wasn't even like in an order. It was more so like episode 1, episode 10, episode 20. And then the other one was when Ash found all like Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander, which is marketing. But again, episode 30, episode 50, episode 60, and I love Pokemon, man. I truly have a heart, like, I don't know. I truly love that. And I don't know. As an only child, it's easy to get lonely or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, it's nice to have the thought of like, I remember I had a dog at the time. Sorry. And I was like, man, it would be so cool to have you at, like, if that was a Pokemon, right? And so, obviously I didn't treat, I'm a kid, right? I didn't train the dog. And so with my 3 dogs, right? Whenever my dog does something, I'm like, that's the closest thing I'll ever get to a Pokemon, man. And I get emotional about it. I don't know. I just really, truly love Pokemon. I truly do.
What was your favorite thing about the game, do you think, originally?
When I saw the anime, it was just to be Ash. 100%. Yeah. Like
you played the game like you were Ash Ketchum and
100. Yeah. I would name myself Ash. It was never Kyle or Bless or anything like that. It was just Ash. I did the same thing whenever I got gold. Who was I? Who is this new guy? I'm Ash. Or just like, and like looking back, man, like, oh man, those were the days, dude. Those are the days. And when Pokemon Let's Go came out, that was one of the first games that ever did well for me, other game that I won't mention. And I get emotional because like there's moments of like, trying to get shiny Pokemon, like the special versions of them. And like, it's super rare. And those things would do well, whether it was YouTube, Twitter, or whatever. And it just, I don't know, man. Pokemon was good to me. Nintendo was always good to me as a kid and like with content creation. So very soft spot in my heart.
Yep. So when did Briar, end up picking up, or you said that you played it for a little while when it first came out?
Yeah.
Did you ever beat it?
Oh no, definitely not. I moved on very quickly. I probably got like through like, I don't know. I would say I remember it because I brought it to visit my dad. So I brought the Game Boy and the cartridge like on the plane, and then like hung out with my dad for a week, and then back. So that was probably the end of it. When I got back from the trip was probably the end of it. And you know, that trip wasn't about playing video games. It was about being like visiting my dad and that kind of stuff. But no, it didn't catch me. It didn't grab me in the way that it didn't resonate with me in the way that I think if I was just a little bit younger, right? I think I would have been the target audience for that game in a way that like I was too old for, or that's probably not the right thing, but I felt like I was too cool to be watching cartoons. I felt like I was too old to be watching cartoons. I think there's an age that you hit where you feel like you should let childish things go, but it's like a false thing. Like you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like it's
like a peer pressure thing. I think you think you're gonna get made fun of for stuff.
Maybe it's also like your interests. You start to. I think a lot of your young life is you shucking away things that either you don't like or have no impact on you, just so you can somehow find focus in your life, because you're just, as a young person, you're just presented with so many opportunities that you have to you have to have blinders on to some extent just to be able to survive it.
Especially your teenage years too, man. Because like those are tough no matter what. Yeah,
they really are. So it's just like cartoons weren't doing it for me, and like. It was also the time of me really like kind of leaving Nintendo and Sega behind and like really focusing on more adult content with like the PlayStation and stuff.
And like, I mean, 100%. I get that. I mean, for a while, I think that happened to me with the Wii a little bit. Just like it like I remember buying it might have been like when I could like buy job, or like because I was just like 16, maybe started working, and I bought the Wii version of Guitar Hero. I'm like, why are these graphics so bad, man? I should have bought the 360, man. Like, I know what you're talking about. And it was like, and then you were like, man, it's all about the Halo 3, dude.
Yeah.
What about Reach? What about COD? Yeah.
Do you remember what starter you picked, Briar, at all?
No.
I was going to say
Squirtle.
I was going to say, because if you picked Squirrel, there's some weird stuff going on right now. So I picked Bulbasaur, and he did well by me.
Mm-hmm.
But look at our colors right now in our screens.
Oh, man. That's pretty meta.
Blessious has kind of like a fuchsia red thing going on.
Yeah.
We're wearing the St. Jude shirts.
Oh, you guys have the same shirt on.
Well, it's not the same shirt, but it's
actually close. A generation later on me, dude.
Wow.
But Briar's got the blue kind of background. Can you change that if you want on the fly, Briar?
Yeah.
The color. And then I have my big ass green screen behind me, so it's just okay.
Yeah, because I'm a Charmander boy, 100.
Yeah.
Plus, like, it didn't help when like you watch like the animated series and you see Charmander's story, and it's so
Charmander.
Sad. Like his
some of
tail
those
almost
episodes
going out and dying.
Yeah, I was like, I got really like broken up on some of those episodes. I remember, you see the glistening tears kind of welling in the character's eyes, and I'm like, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, it's weird. My favorite character is always Jesse. No, James. I always thought that Jesse was hot.
Jesse James. That's right.
That's right.
You guys see that there's a bunch of dudes on the internet who are mad that they didn't make Jessica Rabbit hot enough in not Jessica Rabbit, but the female Bugs Bunny hot enough in the new
Lola,
right? In the new
hey man, there's people no matter the gender
Jam.
spectrum that are upset about that, because like, come on, man.
It's like the original Sword in the Stone. You remember the female squirrel?
I don't remember anything about that movie. I'm not sure I ever saw it.
No.
What? No Sword in the Stone? Wow, you guys need to go watch that.
No, I don't think you do.
Come on, King Arthur, Sword in the Stone. All right, somebody out there is listening and knows what I'm talking about. It's fine. Did you ever fight it? Did you ever do any glitches or anything, Les?
Oh,
I didn't.
missing no.
You got missing. You got missing now.
Yeah. So like So if you go to Cinnabar Island, the volcano island where the last gym leader was, or next to last gym leader, I think. Possibly. I don't remember. Yeah, next last, like the 7th gym, the fire gym, where technically Mewtwo escaped from his science hell. Sorry, I'm giving you lore. Anyway, so if you go up and down the coast of the isle, you can spawn this this creature that I forget what you did, but like if you used an item, if I am correct, it would like make like 10.
So no, it was like 999 or 99 of them, like any item that you wanted. So you could do it with Master Balls.
Yeah. So Master Balls, Rare Candy was like the big one. And so I used Missing No to get my characters for Stadium all level 100. Yeah, so but like
I never did that, but I read about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I did that all the time, man. All the time. And then but the thing about the using rare candies is, it doesn't level it the right way. It's like a little bit nerfed. It makes your Pokemon a little bit nerfed. And the other thing is like I always just use defensive attacks. I never use like a reflect. I never use anything, and so like that probably made trying to get that Surfing Pikachu in Stadium that much harder because these things are using maybe like reflect 5,000 times. So if you use Fire Blast, it can do 2 damage or something.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm a nerd.
Well, no, I was asking you because I watched a video about the glitches and they showed, fighting Professor Oak.
Like, oh yeah. I never did that. Yeah.
Pokemon are like 111 level, and apparently there was something known, and I don't know if this had something to do with the rare candy, but if you ranked up certain stats to a certain point, it would actually reset because they couldn't process like all stats being up. So there was like a point where if you reached the top and you went past it, it would literally go back to 0. So you just kind of would end up nerfing your Pokemon. So I don't know if that was something you ended up doing on accident.
I don't think so, but I wasn't looking at the stats so much except the moves and be like, oh, it's level 99 or 100. I do know this. So like there was a rumor back in the day of the SSN ship. If you go to the truck, behind it would be a Pokeball of Mew, which is never true. That was a huge like playground rumor.
Right.
But it is possible to make the game freak out and you can encounter Mew.
Yeah.
And it's like whatever Cerulean City, I believe, is where Misty is. Maybe I mess up the name. But like the bridge to go up and down there, if you do something special, you can actually get a Mew to come out and you can catch it. And that's
like a glitch. And the other way to do it was apparently at Nintendo events. You could get
that's the real way to get it. And you would like get the link cable but like no matter, I swear to God, you can live in LA and be like, wait, there's like link cable events? I don't see it. Like yeah.
Some other things to note. There was originally 190 Pokemon that were supposed to be in there, but they removed some of them for what odd reason and put them in gold and silver.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Like there's going to be
content for DLC. So it begins.
I know, right? There was a
game, DLC.
There was supposed to be so it was supposed to go Pikachu, Raichu, and like another like Pokemon that had a horn, but that was cut. And then they made like the baby Pikachu because money, baby.
Pikachu,
but, yeah, there's tons of cut Pokemon. Yeah,
Pikachu is adorable.
Like, without looking at the notes, do you know what the first Pokemon ever designed was?
Was it Sandic? I'll take that as that now.
I think probably Dragonair.
Rhydon.
I did know that because all the monster things are Rhydon. Yeah.
When you're going around and there's just like a indiscriminate Pokemon at like whatever on the side, you go up and it's like, like it makes the kind of onomatopoeia noise or whatever.
Yeah, right.
It's always a Rhydon. But I thought that was interesting. Pokemon almost didn't happen, apparently. during the development, which took like 6 years, 5-6 years to develop the game originally.
Wow, really?
4 years in, there was a catastrophic crash to one of the PCs that had all of the information that was not backed up whatsoever.
Wow.
And so they were like freaking out, and they ended up recovering it, obviously, but they were a little freaked out that they would have had to just like, well,
Yeah.
so much for that.
Back your shit up, folks.
How scary is
crazy.
that? Like talking about the mid early 90s where just you're so dependent on that shit working.
Yeah. Like PCs were less reliable by 1,000 times back then too. Like PCs are so reliable now. Back then they were running Windows 95 for Christ's sake.
Well, and you can back things up into the cloud.
Yeah,
atmosphere.
you can't do that anymore. You got to back it up to a floppy disk and then ship it to the cloud.
Yeah.
Put it in the warehouse for me. Hope it doesn't rot.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you knew this, but Dragon Knight is a homage to Miyamoto for Yoshi.
Oh, really?
Huh. Mm-hmm. Dragon Knight. That's the fully evolved version, right?
Dratini Dragonair, yeah.
Okay, just double checking
your Pokedex.
Knowledge. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I have a Pokedex voice.
This is the Pokedex.
Oh, that's perfect. That's
right? It's a little echo on it, but yeah, that's right.
that little bing.
Yeah, I made that thing for freaking Let's Go. Every time you catch something, I was so excited just to play something other than that one game.
It's like living rent free in your head right now, dude. You're just you're still...
No, I'm jaded, man. That game, like it was that game or die for a while, and I'm bowing to the RNG gods.
You treat it like Voldemort.
Yeah.
Next time you see Bless, he's gonna have like a forehead.
Hey man, all I know is I will shit post on DMG every time he posts something just because I think it's funny.
He's in Pokemon too, so
he gets it. But for a while, there was like a moment where like we didn't interact. I'm like, oh dude, I'm muted by this guy.
Oh,
it finally happened.
It finally happened.
And then he liked something. I'm like, jeez Christ, man, he scared me with that like.
Nintendo didn't think that Pokemon was going to be successful originally.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we'll sell it and, we'll make our money back and that'll be that. And then in that same vein, Game Freak thought that Silver and Gold would be their last because they didn't think that they could catch lightning in a bottle twice.
Right. And that's why they made it so you can go back to Red and Blue area, which if you think about that is the best thing ever. That's 2 games in one. You get a total new area, right? And then you can shuttle back and have a hardcore version of Red and Blue.
Really?
I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You beat the.
So are you just making this up?
No. I think you beat Johto's Elite Four, and you can shuttle back, do all the gyms in hardcore mode, right? And then face Gary. No, instead of facing Gary, because I think you face Gary in Johto, but you face Ash in Johto or Kanto.
Is it Red?
Red. Well, it's freaking Ash to me, man.
Red and Ash apparently are not the same.
I know, but yo, man, stop.
Well, I found a whole story on that. Like the characters are very similar. Kind of.
Red is literally 30 years old now. Yeah.
But Red is kind of the quiet, stoic Pokemon master. Like he was an actual Pokemon master, and Ash was like this above average trainer that never really.
But Ash is also in his 30s now. Ash is still 10.
You think he still wears his hat and his jacket, and he's got?
Ash is a badass dude.
You think any of his Pikachu or any of his Pokemon have passed on? You think Pikachu's like in a chair, just like with a cigarette, just like fucking.
Where does your head live with Pokemon?
I don't know,
man?
dude.
I think that they're live, laugh, and loving.
I mean, Pokemon literally prints money now, so they're living in their mansion. Ash
like
and
I
Pikachu.
really it is so like I remember this is a weird thing, and I hate to continue this on. I apologize, but like I remember like when I first started getting into content creation, I saw a tweet by King Italian, and it was like, man, you gotta have your 5-year plan ready, man. And I was like, 5-year plan, man, right? Like my life is shambles as is. I say the same thing 5 years later, and but the thing is like, man, I would love to work for the Pokemon Company or Nintendo.
Put it out into the world, and it might come true one day. Never know. Never know. Pokemon or Bless is going to be the next community manager for Pokemon Company.
I would never want to be a community manager.
I wouldn't
either. It sounds like the worst job
after
the whole wide world.
Like poor Deej, man. I think I'm not even gonna go into Deej, man, but like DMG, I see the shit he gets, and like I cannot be that chipper guy. I'd be.
I think that Destiny is an anomaly with that. I don't think I
think all video games have the same shit going on.
100%. Pokemon can be toxic. 100%. Like
it's children, so yeah.
It's also man children and woman children, but like.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I love Pokemon too, but people can be kids mentally. It's like. Just even in the 30s, 40s, 50s, people can be kids. It's kind of unfortunate with their expectations of things.
Yeah.
That's my thought on that. Anyways.
It's just a bad job. I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to engage with your community, right? So,
right.
But the problem is that the more you give the community a say, like the more they're going to want that say to matter.
Yeah.
Like it's a relationship that like almost by definition cannot work.
Well, it's the too many cooks in the kitchen kind of idea. When you're in development, for anybody that has or has not been on a development team, it's if there's too many voices giving input, you can get stuck with the kind of analysis paralysis of like, okay, well, what direction do we end up going? And then somebody kind of has to make that executive decision. And it's good to get input on things, but I think it's important to, for the design and the intent of a game to be kind of a small team, in a lot of ways, because it creates more of a solidified direction. When you have a game like Destiny that's like this, the development team and the community is so vast. There's so many voices, and some of them are louder than others, and sometimes you don't really know which direction to go in, but I will give Bungie credit that they try to shift when they can. If they feel like they've made a bad decision, they try to try to go in a different direction, but it's tough, man.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing that I will say about game direction, and which I know none of, so when in the development of Breath of the Wild, when they're making like the world, right, they would have like events, right? And so everyone that was an employee, no matter if you are, intern, no matter if you're, Iwata, right? During that time, they would have like almost Reddit boards of like thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a review, right? And it was all blind, right? And so, I think that is great for that. But at the same time, I feel like with a lot of just companies, there's an ego where it's like, my opinion matters this much X, and that has way, man. And I don't know, man. It's just like if you just look at what, like maybe if you just like come down off that pedestal, have a sandwich, so let's just see what people think, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And man, that's my thought on game design.
For sure. Feedback is very important.
Yeah.
I didn't mean for it to sound like it wasn't. I was just saying like
I didn't take it anyway.
I think you did mean that, Jay.
No. I'm not saying like it should only be the 5 people in the room. It should only be the 5 people in the room with input. I mean, just like it's more like the initial idea fleshing out of stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you get like if you kind of have a half-baked idea and you take it to one person, you get some feedback and you're like, oh, that's some good feedback. And then you take it to another person and they give you completely different feedback. You're like, yeah, that's good feedback too. And then you take it to a third person, a fourth person, a 10th person, a 30th person, a 100th person.
Yeah.
You have all these different ideas that are different from each other, and then you're like, well, shit. What was our original idea again?
Yeah.
You know? So feedback is very, very important, but there's a point too where you can't let that feedback dictate the original vision of what you're trying to do to the point where it changes and becomes
100%.
something completely different.
Yeah,
And
100%.
it can be tough. It can be tough to navigate that because you want to make everybody happy too. So
Yeah. And maybe making this a little bit more full circle with Pokemon. I think it's cool for them to, have multiple teams now because they are like $100 billion company now. It's crazy. But like, have a couple teams, right? You have a team that's like, okay, you're gonna remaster Diamond and Pearl, and hey, all people do is say Breath of the Wild Pokemon, Breath of the Wild Pokemon. Just go make the damn game. And like and like the vision is like, okay, well, you have your own vision of what that is, right? You know what I mean? And so but I still hope that they, do that thing that Breath of the Wild has that's like, hey, is this fun? No. Well, maybe it's overwhelmingly no on this. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
gonna be good. It's Nintendo. When was the last time they made a horrible first party game?
What is the relationship between Game Freak and Nintendo?
Nintendo owns it.
They own it outright.
I think it's a steadfast hold, unlike Rare. Where Rare was like, well, like I think Nintendo owned 49% of it. So that was like could be bought. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know that to be a fact, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty steadfast. I don't think Nintendo would ever be like, okay, we're gonna let you go. No, man, that's the money. That's the money machine, dude.
They are a money machine. I was always surprised when they did that Pokemon. Was it Go that was for the phones? That AR game. Like, I was surprised to see that happen, but it was at a time when Nintendo itself was making cell phone games, which they've pretty much stopped doing, haven't they?
No.
They're still making phone games.
Yeah. So Pokemon. Pokemon League of Legends, I don't remember the name of it, is about to come out. They have Mario Kart, whatever, on the iPhone and Android, which is like I see a lot of people playing and like it's still updated. They have Animal Crossing on the iPhone, Pocket Adventure or whatever. And like they keep updating, and they have a actual new IP on the iPhone too, where it's an RPG, like a hardcore RPG. I think it's
really
drag something. It's not about drag queens.
Oh, that's too bad. That would be awesome.
No,
RPG.
that'd be cool. Drag queen RPG would be awesome.
I was going in a new direction. Yes,
I love it.
I played the adventure Pokemon game that came out a couple of years ago. I played through that, and then I don't know if they came out with more content or not. I kind of finished it, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm done. Like,
did you guys play Pokemon Go at all?
Yeah. Off and on.
Yeah. So that was before I was full time at what I do now, and I remember being like a manager at like a restaurant, and being like yelling at kids, like stop, work, and then I'd be like going to like one I'd like someone under me that I'm like, hey, there's a Venusaur. Like, so I guess I'm an asshole.
Well, it's one of those things, like if you're working at a job and doing it and being obviously obnoxious about it, that's different than, doing it in the right moment when like there's not a lot of business around or there's a lull or something like that,
Yeah.
Or maybe your boss is not watching you.
Yeah. Well, the fact that I was the boss.
Yeah.
Doing it very hard and probably very obvious because let me just give you a little secret. I did not like the job.
I hate to say it, guys, but I think we should wrap this one up. It's been a couple hours.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you having me. No cap. I said this is the third time I'm gonna say it, but like I think the truest and highest honor is like you have your colleagues invite you to be part of the project, and it really humbles me that you guys would invite me. So I'm really appreciative.
Well, thank you for coming on, man. We were looking forward to this. We really were. We were talking about you last episode. We couldn't wait to have you on.
Pokemon.
Hey, Briar. Any thoughts on next episode's game?
Oh, we should pick a game, shouldn't we?
You have any input, Bless?
Dude,
2 weeks.
What about rare titles?
Ooh.
It doesn't have to be Nintendo. We just did GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could do the extensive catalog of rare.
Like Banjo-Kazooie and
Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong, Jet Force Gemini, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Dude, I can keep going. Freaking Battletoads, Killer
Perfect Dark.
Instinct.
I don't think I could
Perfect Dark.
put myself
You
through
could go
Battletoads.
into Sea of Thieves, the new game that they're making that's about
the
to come
original
out.
Battletoads.
They got a new game coming out?
They have a new. I don't know what it's about. I just know there's a new game.
Interesting. I don't know. Chat, do you guys have any ideas what we should play for next week? I think chat is falling asleep. I don't know. What do you think, Jay?
We've done Nintendo the last 2 weeks. We talked about the potential to do some Sega stuff. There's things like, hold on. There's a couple that I remember, like, things like Streets of Rage or...
Oh, Celix is in chat saying Super Mario RPG. He has been hounding me to play Super
It's-
Mario RPG.
It's a great game. There's Toad Damon. I mean, I can't say no to Super Mario RPG. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Well,
So
maybe we should do Super Mario RPG to please
You could just
Celix
do
there.
you can do Square Enix titles
Mm.
and then just include that. Boom.
we've been doing just the one, and then probably
Gotcha.
eventually we'll lump them together.
I got you. That makes more sense.
I don't know. I kind of want to do Super
And
Mario
I
RPG.
think-
Everybody's talking about this game. Celix is hounding me on Twitter about it.
I think our main, I don't even know if we talked about it, but we tend to do like the first iteration. We're kind of, because it's kind of still beginning of the podcast, we've been doing kind of the first iteration of games. So like Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow made a lot of sense, and GoldenEye for 64, and
Yeah, I
Sonic
got you.
1 and all that kind of stuff.
I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 5, so I wouldn't mind doing Street Fighter 2 as well.
I swear we've done Street Fighter. We haven't yet though.
No, I just talk about it all the time.
Well, I'll leave this up to you. I feel like you're on the fence, Briar.
I say, well, let's do Super Mario RPG.
All right.
Are you down with it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do
Did
it.
you play? Did you play that, Briar, or Blessious?
Street Fighter 2?
Super Mario RPG.
Oh, Super Mario RPG? No, I never did. No.
What about Street Fighter 2?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Of
dude.
course.
Oh, yeah.
Who hasn't played that game?
The Guile theme, dude.
The handcuffs?
Who's your Street Fighter go to? Les?
Guile.
Oh, really?
The theme. The theme.
The theme
or
is
that
good.
Or Chun-Li.
Chun-Li was
but
great.
With Guile's theme.
The internet has an odd crush over Chun-Li.
It's hard not to, man.
Yeah.
I was always more of a Ryu guy. I really had a crush on him. Crushing
Same.
hard over that red bandana and that bare chest.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let's wrap this one up before we get in trouble. Bless, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you on the internet?
Namaste. Yeah, you can just find me. I just Google Blessious, man.
Okay. What's your Twitter?
Twitter is at Kyle Blessing. I changed it for voiceover reasons.
Okay.
To be, for voiceover reasons.
What did you said? God, I can't remember what your tweet was, but you were gonna be. Oh, you wanted to be a voice actor for a new character in Overwatch, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh my
yeah,
God,
of course.
I would main that character 100%.
Aw,
I can't wait. I hope that happens. That'd be amazing.
I would.
Oh.
Let me say it now. I will play Overwatch for the first time.
You've
ever.
never played it?
Nope.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Yo, man. Yo, one day. You know what? You gotta be positive, Mount. Like, man, that'd be the dream. Yeah.
What do you typically stream on Twitch currently?
Oh, dude, anything but that one game I will not mention. I have a vendetta against it. Nothing against the developers, more so towards the community, which I should not say on this podcast. Oh my god!
Well, it was nice knowing you, Bless. Pleasure. This is the Retro Game Podcast. What do you mean?
No, not this podcast, but the host of the podcast. My name's Jeff.
Jay, where can people find you?
Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at JSniperton. I stream in the middle of the night most of the time, starting to stream a little bit earlier. And I tend to play that game that Bless was alluding to a second ago.
Chess?
But
nothing against you.
Chess. Yes,
no,
chess.
It's nothing against the game. It's you.
Oh, no. Oh, it's been fun.
And your friends.
I'm beefing with Blessious now. We have a beef.
Oh, nice.
Hey man, I'm only allowed to have beefs with Paul Tassi.
It's good fun to have a good beef.
I can't stand having beef with anybody. If I think that somebody hates me, I just it keeps me up at night.
I was started with the Destiny Down Under folks like a couple of months ago. That was a ton of fun.
I might have a problem with Mylan.
What's that?
With Mylan?
You have a beef with Mylan?
Yeah.
You go down to Sydney and hash this thing out with a kangaroo and a Foster's?
I just posted that I want to have beef with somebody because I haven't had beef in a long time. I think since like Crucible Radio. And so they stepped up to the plate and like, well, we'll do it. Let's have some beef. I'm like, all right.
Well, I don't want to have a beef with Jay. I love you, Jay. So my beef is just Paul Tassi.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this podcast. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks with some Super Mario RPG.
Don't forget to follow the podcast on Twitter and also Briar Rabbit on Twitter.
How long is this? How long is that game? How long should I like set aside to play that? 40 hours, you think?
20.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
20, yeah, it's not horrible.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.